What's good? You are now tuned in with Off Docs Podcast. Get some drink.
I stay off them perks. I be sleep but never lacking.
And let it be.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a sassy situation. Now I want to know about it.
Yeah, I'm not talking about it. She'll tell you.
You should have never told me.
She'll tell you.
Hey, so how did you kind of get introduced to the metaverse, bro?
Honestly, out of boredom, I had an Xbox Series X a while ago.
For
When I
real?
was living in South Carolina, yeah, and I
Hell
was
yeah.
selling some of the stuff because I had to pay rent, and at the time I wasn't working, so I had to sell a lot of that stuff. And this dude hit me up one day. He was like, "Hey, I got this MetaQuest. I'll trade you for the Xbox." Because at the time the MetaQuest was like five something, so it was kind of an even trade.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, "Well, I mean, I can give it a try. It's portable, whatever." And I picked it up and I put it on, and the first thing I downloaded was Horizon Worlds.
For
So,
real?
yeah, first thing I downloaded. It was
Hell yeah.
recommended, even though it was still in beta. I guess somebody knew me that was connected to my Facebook, and
Yeah.
they sent me an invite. So I was one of the top 20 people to get it. When it came out
Dang.
the first beta, yeah,
What year was this?
I believe it was 2019 or 2020. It was one of those years.
Oh, these was COVID days.
Yeah, yeah,
Dang. You say what Xbox you had? X?
the Xbox Series X.
Oh yeah, them were good old days right there, bro. Have you always been into
Yeah,
gaming and stuff like that?
yeah, I'm a heavy gamer, super heavy gamer.
What was your first video game you was like playing and shit?
Ever,
Yeah.
boy, Pokemon Red.
Oh, Pokemon Red. I remember when that shit came out. You had a
Yeah.
DS?
Yep. Yeah. No, not the DS. I had the Game Boy
Oh
Advance.
yeah, the Game Boy.
Yeah.
Hell
It
yeah, man.
wasn't mine. It was my brother's. But as little kids, we like to take our brother's shit.
So you download the metaverse and then what made you kind of want to start creating on here?
Man, so at first when I got on here, I would hop around, see people's worlds, and just be at all. Me as a person though, I'm very tinkerish, so I like to tinker with things. I like to know how things work, how it's made, like the ifs, ands, and what's of things. Like I would destroy something and then rebuild it just cause. So I would see people's worlds, and I ended up meeting this person. Her name was Dangerously Wild. It was the first person I ever met on here who took me to some of her worlds and stuff. And she was showing me, and she had this one world where it was like a park, basic, but at the new, it looked really good. But it nowadays is basic as I don't know what. Um, and I lied. I ain't gonna hold you. I lied to her. I said, "Yeah, I work with Trimesh. I know how to do this, that, and the other." I ain't know how to do none of that. I just lied to her
Oh
just
yeah.
to see if she would help me. Um, and then we ended up being friends, and I ended up working with her. She became like uh she worked. I think the thing was called Metavisionaries, her company at first, and they would do skits and videos and stuff like that. And I would do skits and stuff with them. One day, she asked me to come into build mode to help her because I lied to her and told her I knew how to do it. So we went into build mode, and I went into God. I like to call it God mode. And I'm sitting there trying, when everybody first gets in the build mode, they try to move around, don't know what they're doing, and I was looking stupid. So I ended up leaving, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna lie about it, I gotta at least know how to do it. So I ended up getting in build mode for a couple of days and just messing with everything, seeing how it works. And then I thought, to make things work and move and stuff, you had to use animation. Come to find out, I started linking up with this guy named Shadow Bebop, which was like my second friend I met. And he was showing me scripts and how to make them work, and then me and him was working together. And then I kind of leaned away from building and went into scripting. And since 2019, bro, that's all I've been doing was honing my skills as a scripter.
Dang, what all type of stuff have you scripted so far?
uh I do a lot of scripting stuff, and then I would work on it and then just not finish it. So in my assets, I have a lot of dope scripts that are like 95% done, but it's missing like a line of code or whatever. Um, I've I've scripted for a lot of people. I scripted for Dangerously Wild. I scripted for Thickums EST. I scripted for Linda. I've done some scripts with Shadow Bebop, Nina Ross. Right now, as everybody should know by now, I'm scripted for Black Magic now. I did some work with uh I can't think of that dude name. I did some work with Corey Bad. We have a couple worlds. I don't know if y'all seen Invidious, but I scripted the whole game. I did work with Telecloud. I scripted her Surviving the Hood. I've scripted
Oh
her New
yeah,
Club. Yeah,
that was
so
good. That was good.
if you go around and you see my logo on the wall, it's usually DP and it says Designer Panda Scripts. That's me. Um there's just a lot of things. Like I could probably take you to a couple worlds. Like back then, the first podcast that was really made, um, what's it called? It's by Breathe the Queen. Breathe the Queen's podcast. When it first came out, I was her scripter. I scripted like all her worlds. Um,
Damn.
there's a few people I can't think of the name off top, but
Shout
if
out to
we
all
were
those
ever
people
to go
too,
into the
man.
world, I could show you all the stuff I've done.
That is fire, bro. No cap, because you know everybody's a builder, but when it comes down to scripting, it's only a few select scripters.
Hmm. Well, there's a lot of people claim to be scripters, but you know they do basic stuff like basic move here or teleport here and stuff. But people fail to realize there's a whole lot more. Like you got Belize. Belize is like a light switch. If it's off,
Yeah.
it doesn't do anything. If it's on, it does something in the script. Then you
Damn.
have your objects, which is just like the couch or the wall or anything that's physical within the world is an object, unless you have text, but that's still technically an object. um, then you have your rotations. Your rotation is just on an axis. So if you have a cube, you have your Y, your X, and your Z. Those are called vectors. It's just a measurement of a position, like longitude and latitude. So your Y is vertical, your X is horizontal, and your Z is back and forth. That's what gives us 3D perception. And then your rotation, all that does is it just turns a certain degree on those axes. So you have your rotation variables, you have your number variables, which just deals with numbers. Then you have what else do you have? There's like a list of them. I can't remember everything off the top. You have your strings, which have to do with text. Like if you wanted to enter the world, and then text on the wall says "Hello World," that's a string. Then you have your asset variable, which just deals with like asset spawning, pulling stuff out of a player's inventory. Um,
Oh wow, that's
trying to
cool.
think of yeah, I'm trying to think of everything, but I can't think of all of it at once. But yeah, there's a whole lot that goes into scripting, and you can you can take a line of code and then switch to positions of two variables within that code, and it'll do something completely different.
Does scripting
Still the
take up a
same
lot
line
of?
of
Say what?
Go ahead.
Does scripting take up a lot of space in the world and stuff like that?
No, not really. It barely takes like a megabyte.
Oh
Now,
wow,
so the
I
way
thought it was
it
gonna be like
works
huge.
is each scripting cube has its own capacity. So if you were ever to open a script at the bottom left that it said like 85%, a script has its own capacity. So you can write as many lines of code as you need, but if it goes over that 100%, then you can't script no more. But a way to combat that is by sending and receiving events. So receiving an event is basically like, if I could break it down in terms, think about writing a letter to somebody and then sending it off. And that letter just was a list of instructions of what to do. And they receive that letter and they read it and they're like, okay, I'll do this. And then they write another one and send it back to you. That's basically what a send and receive event does. Is it's like sending mail to different objects and then maybe receiving one back if it calls for it.
Oh, okay. So that's what you script like to do, act like that.
Well, I do a whole bunch of things outside of that. But sending and receiving is very helpful. Like say if you have a band tool and you want one script to be the manager is what I usually call things, that the main managers. So the manager will run all the basic stuff like button pushes and do this when this is, or if a player enters world, do this. But then you would send an event to a different object and it will recognize something and then send it back to the main script. So like the main script would be like the boss, and then the mini scripts with the sending and receiving events would be like the assistants.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. So you can like make stuff. You know how to make mod menus and make stuff rotate and all type of stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
Dang, that's pretty cool. You can even make lights. Like you say, you had a concert, right? You know how they be having all the lights and shit, and you know how they got fire coming out the ground and shit like
Yep,
that. You can kind
I
of
can
make
do
that
that
shit
too.
happen. Yo,
Hmm.
that shit would be fire. Cause I've been thinking about building like a concert world, having like
Hmm.
fire come out the stage and shit like that.
Yeah, so I can also do things like say if you were to come into the world and I could do like inception is what I call it. So I've made this Oculus. I made a mini game. It's a table. You can't see nothing but an Oculus. The moment you put this Oculus on, it shows I call them paintball guns because Meta doesn't really like the regular term. So you'll see a paintball gun and you'll see shapes in the background that will move sporadically, right?
Yeah.
And the person with the headset can only see this. Nobody outside of that can't see it. So if you have on a headset, only you can see it. The moment you take it off, it disappears, and then the next person puts it on, only they can see it. I could do scripts to where,
Oh,
like,
that's
if you were
cool.
to enter a world, I could do it to where only you would be able to hear something, no matter if it's on full blast, no matter if it's on global. Be loud as I don't know what, like the whole world should hear it. But if I put this script in your world, only you would be able to hear it, nobody else.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do need some help with my world, bro. I ain't gonna lie. My world, you can hear everybody. So like, say people talking over there, you're gonna be able to
Mhm.
hear them.
So the thing is with that, the script that I have only works with audio cubes. As far as player based audio, we don't really have a way to script how certain people can hear that other than you walking up to somebody muting them.
Oh yeah, true. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we don't
Oh,
really have a lot of player based scripts. We did, but then they took them away for fear of people messing around with people and doing stuff that people won't like. But
oh
hey,
yeah. I
it's
think my
meta.
world is like it is. I think it is an audio cube. It's just like the one where you can hear everybody in the world is over there too. I think it's too big or something.
So if you're able to hear everybody in the world, that's not really it is a script, but it's more so your player environment cube. Is it blue?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's your environment cube. So if you look outside, your background with the clouds and the stars, that's
yeah.
just an image that's pasted onto an environment cube that shows it around the world. Now, inside
Oh,
that settings, the preference of that environment cube, there's a setting called VoIP. That's voice, basically. And if you turn it on global, it sets everybody's voice to global. You can set it on nearby, which sets it to nearby, which means that me and you have to be a little closer to hear each other. Then you have whisper, which you have to be like damn near kissing each other in order to hear each other. So there's different voice settings in there you can mess around with, but you can also do triggers. So if you did a script that said when triggers entered by a player, set players' voice settings to nearby, your world could be set on global, but the moment they enter that trigger, that player alone voice settings would be set to nearby. So everybody else would be loud, but he would be quiet.
bet hell yeah. That's probably what I'll do. And then like say I also want to build like I got these new sets I'm working on, and it's
Hmm.
gonna be kind of like it's gonna be four different sets in one world. So it's gonna have like a little building, and you're gonna be able to see inside the sets through this little glass window. But it's gonna be not little, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be you know how you ever walked in an office in real life, and they got
Yeah.
them glass windows with the glass door and shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have that around them, except for the wall behind them. That's part of the set. It's probably gonna be painted or something. I'll probably have some brick or something. And
Hmm.
then I just want like the door, the glass door to slide open when somebody go in.
So what you would do?
Oh, can you
Hmm.
also like say I have somebody build everything and
Hmm.
have you come in there and script it?
I could do that.
Bet, bet, bet.
So a little bit about motion scripts. Um, just if I'm not ever available, you can be able to do it yourself. If you pull out a script and you rename it Motion Door, what you would do is you would delete the line of code that says when Word is started, because you really don't need that.
Yeah.
And you would go to your events, which is the first tab. You'll scroll down and you'll look for player events. Then inside that catalog, you'll find something that says when player enters trigger. You would take that, drop it into the logic board, basically. Then you're gonna look for, I think it's motion. You click on motion and you scroll down until you see move object to blank or time, and then drop that up underneath when player enters trigger. and keep it on self. So the self variable or value, because a variable is just a label. It lets the script know what you're talking about. So you'll keep it on self because self is whatever the script's attached to. So if I attach it to this couch, self becomes couch. If I
Mhm.
attach it to the cup, self becomes cup. So just keep it on self and attach it to the door. Then you'll take the position, you'll delete that little cube. It's green, that's the vector. So everything's color coded, really. If it's green, it's vector. If it's purple or pink, it's rotation. Blue is object. Green is player. You'll kind of see it if you ever open a script. So you'll go to your operators. Your operators tab is all the math that you'll ever need to script. A lot of it gets confusing, but you're not worried about any of that. You're worried about basic math. So you will take scroll down until you see basic math. You'll take the negative sign, so which is subtract. So you'll drop that into position, and then you'll scroll down until you see transformation of object. And then you'll grab position of object and drop that into the first. So it'll be move self to position of object minus blank. So the position itself is going to be blank. Just grab self, duplicate it over to there. So it'll be move self to position itself minus, and then you'll take a green vector variable and drop it into the opposite side of position itself. And this is where it gets a little tricky because you have three numbers that will be zero. So those three numbers will always go in the order of X, Y, Z. And remember what I told you about vectors is X, Y, and Z. So if you want the door to slide, and you really got to pay attention to where the vectors of the object are. So if you have the Z facing forward, then there will always be a Z negative facing away. You have always keep Y up. So it'll be Y positive is up, Y negative is down. X positive is left, X negative is right. So what you would do is because it's already subtracting from the position, you don't need to put a negative number. So you would just put position itself minus, and then you'll click on the first one, the first number. That's your X position, your X vector, and then just put one. So then in the script, when the player enters trigger, it tells that object to move over the position of itself minus one. So it'll take the position of itself and scoot it over minus one to make it look like a sliding.
Oh, okay, okay. Hell yeah, hell yeah. That's what I'm gonna try right there. What's it called? Is scripting hard? When you first started scripting, was it hard for you?
I wouldn't say it was hard. It wasn't my Oculus just says but die. It wasn't hard, it was confusing. Um because when you first read a script, it looks like a bunch of gibberish
Yeah.
because you don't know what is, you know. I always had a saying, my mom always told me that ignorance is bliss. Uh Fuck that. It's not. Ignorance is confusing. I like to know shit. That's just me as a person. So when you first read it, you see a bunch of colors, you see a bunch of numbers, you see a bunch of operators, and you're like, what the hell is going on? You can read basic things like, that's subtraction, that's multiplication, this, and the basic shit. But then you're like, okay, well, what's it doing? So when you look at a script, you're just confused because you don't know what is. But once you sit down and you fuck with stuff and you realize that, okay, this is a player card, this means player, this is a number, this means number. Once you understand how to read the script and what everything does, then scripting becomes easy. It's nothing but a language.
Hell yeah, because the way you was playing it sounded hard, but I think it's on once you learn it type shit.
Yeah, so there's a few people that keep asking me to teach them, and I've done classes before, but then I get to the hard parts and people run away. So I'm thinking about just going ahead and taking my bot, which is Scripters Universe. It was ABC Scripting. I'm changing it back.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I was just gonna ask you about that.
yeah. So I'm gonna start taking her and recording sessions and videos and posting them online for people and breaking down stuff. Cause a lot of scripts you see online with people, all they do is just, oh well, you want to do this and put this here, but they never explain what those are. So my channel is gonna be different. I'm gonna explain what everything is first. So there's gonna be like 5 videos that explain each category, and then what each category, what those things do and what they are. And then I'll explain it like variables, when you make variables, there's a difference between value and variables. Values are just basic information, like server, player, object, whatever. It's just basic ass information. Then you have your variables. Your variables are just labels. So imagine if I put three white powders on the table and I tell you, hey, grab me the salt. You're not gonna know what the hell the salt is.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell you talking about? Salt and pepper, nigga?
Exactly. You're not gonna know which one the salt is. So think about that's how the script feels. If you tell it to do something, it's not gonna know what you're talking about. It doesn't know which one is which. So a
Mm-hmm.
variable is a label. So now imagine if I took a label gun and I put salt, uh, onion powder, and flour. Now if I tell you to grab me the salt, you're gonna know which one's the salt.
Yeah.
That's basically what scripting is when it comes to variables. You're just labeling things so the script knows, oh, okay, he wants me to move this. You know?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Hell yeah. What's it called? ABC scripting. Is that your company? Is that your brand you came up with?
So ABC Scripting is an LLC. I do have it registered with the Treasury and everything. It is a legit company.
Oh, then you bought an
Yes, it is
LLC and all
mine.
that.
Yeah, so
That's
I
nice,
have a
bro.
whole IEN with it. So
Damn,
um yeah, I took it real
fancy pants.
far. I came up with ABC Scripting. So at first when I first started the whole meta thing, I was Aunt Valentine. A lot of people don't know about Aunt Valentine. He was only here for a couple months. Um, but there was a lot of stuff going on with that name, so I had switched up and made Designer Panda. I've always been Designer Panda my whole life. I've always been Designer Panda, but I just brought that name into the metaverse. So that's when I started really building the scripting when I took on that name. Um, so I came up with the name Designer Panda LLC, or DP Builds is what
Hmm.
the original name was. So I made an LLC for that last year. But then I was like, oh, well, I'm into scripting and I really want to turn this into a business, just not in the metaverse, because outside the metaverse too, I do a lot of coding. So I know C Sharp, I know Python, I know JavaScript, I know HTML. Like I do actual coding
Oh, that's cool.
as a hobby. So I was like, I really want to turn this into an actual business. So when I was homeless, a lot of people don't really know about the homeless situation. When I was homeless outside one day, I was sitting there, I was thinking to myself, I need to come up with a name. What's something that's grabbable? What can grab people's attention? What's something that when you hear it, you're like, oh, I know who that is. It's like Target or Walmart. Like it's a weird name, but it you know what that is if I was to say it. You know what I'm saying? So I was sitting there thinking, like, okay, what's something that has to do with like basic stuff? What's something basic? I was like, oh, ABC. That's like the first three letters of the alphabet. You know what I'm saying? As basic as I don't know what. So how do I know how to tell people with the name that it's programming? What's another word for programming? Scripting. So if you read the name ABC scripting, is basically tell you is basic programming. I teach people how to do programming basically.
Oh
And
yeah,
the
that's smart
LLC
right
is
there.
just because it's liability, label liability company. You put that on everything when you make a company. It's always something LLC. So I came up with the name ABC Scripting LLC and I stuck with it.
Oh yeah, that's good right there, bro. Yeah, yeah. When you say you code in real life, you ever thought about coding like real video games and scripting some stuff on VR chat?
So I keep hearing that the whole reason I bought my gaming computer was one to have a Horizon bot and two because I wanted to learn TriMesh. I wanted to
Yeah,
learn how
try
to do
mesh.
TriMesh. So I wouldn't say I'm the best at it, but I'm getting really good with it. And once I get like a real grip on it and I'm able to do things within a timely manner, I'll start working in VR chat. Because I heard their program is very similar but different in a way. So I'm not really worried about the programming side of things. I'm pretty sure I can pick that up easily. But yeah, I keep hearing about VR chat. Now I'm thinking about doing it. Now I have made a few basic like phone games a while ago when I was first learning how to do programming.
That's
Uh,
cool.
I made like a few basic ones. I never published them, but I did make them. And I'm pretty sure they're probably saved in my iCloud somewhere. I am missing something and I can't find it. But yeah, I've done a few.
Hell
One
yeah,
second.
man.
One second. All right, go ahead. My bad.
What was I gonna say? Oh, Black Magic, man. What's that like working over there, bro?
So I've been wanting to work with JC from the beginning. It's been something I've always wanted to work for Black Magic, and I keep hearing things. You know, I was the big part of some of the stuff that was going on Black Magic because I got power hungry, whatever the case may be. Um, and
Yeah, it used to be a mod, didn't you?
yeah, I was a mod. Um, I got let go 3 times. I got fired twice. The 2 times I got fired were on my behalf. I got power hungry. I'm not gonna lie. Um,
Yeah.
but I've always wanted a script for Black Magic because there's a lot of ideas, and throughout the years of being in Black Magic, because everybody knows I'm always in there. If I'm not in Black Magic, I'm in build mode. Um, and I've been just been hearing things over the years like, oh, we want this, or we should have this, or this should be this, and being as young as I am with a bunch of these ideas that I have, I wanted to bring them into Black Magic because I know they would be awesome. I know people like them. Hell, the heads up displays. You know, I hear people all the time. Oh, this is cool. This is the heads up. You know, it shows your name, your VIP status, and your money. There's a few games we're about to bring like PvP with paintball guns where y'all can paintball each other in the game and y'all can shoot each other and there'll be a whole leaderboard. We're bringing back VIP, like certain VIP rooms and stuff with private DJ spots that you can lock the door so nobody else can get into them. Like there's little things we're bringing to Black Magic. And
Bro, y'all gotta bring back the old build, bro. Like when they had the little light thing, you know what I'm talking about? The little
which
light,
one?
the black magic, the one he updated right before he went back to this style. You know, the
Oh,
one
y'all
where he
like
had
that
the,
one?
yeah, bro, that shit look like, you know what I'm saying, new school, you know what I'm saying? Like it looked like, you know what I'm
So
saying? Modern, you know what I'm saying?
so we're keeping the way it is now, but we are fine tuning it to look modern.
Y'all should make it outside, because it's like
We're doing
claustrophobic.
that.
Yeah, it's gonna be
We're
lit.
opening it up a lot. I just finished the new VIP area last night. So
Now
I
you
can't
know
wait
it
for
was
y'all
the
to see
OG,
that.
the best one,
Which
the one
one?
with the long ass hallway. You know what I'm talking about? Where you had the long hallway, you had
Oh,
the little fight room.
yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
That was lit. That was them lit days right there.
Yeah, I remember that. Lord, that was a minute ago.
Oh God, time be flying by in that bit, man. No cap. Shout out everybody in the building. My boy 2CXDs and them bug.
What up, CC?
Yes, hell
But yeah,
yeah. Yeah, what else
we're
y'all
bringing
bring? You
some
said
things back. I
private
can't wait for
rooms?
y'all to see the updates. Yeah, so there's going to be 4 new private rooms. Each one is themed after a different thing. So like we have one that's like a lounge. We have one that's like sitting in the middle of like a pond or an ocean. We have one that's like looks like a forest. Like I've been working really hard on those last night. So the way they work is if you have a VIP status, you're able to go in the room. Anybody could go in the room if there's nobody in there. Um, but VIPs are able to lock the room. So when you go in there, you can lock the room and nobody can come in. But if you have your friends that want to come in, you can add them to a party and you can send your friends a code that when they type
Oh,
it in, they could come in, but nobody else can.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, there'll be like a private DJ spot so you can bring your bot in there and y'all can listen to music as loud as y'all want to.
I'm rocking with that. I'm rocking with that.
Yeah.
What other worlds you got going on? You got any worlds coming up yourself? You were scripting?
Yeah, so I've been working on 2 games. I've been working on them very diligently. One of the games is called the King's Game. I've been working on it for 3 years. I'm almost finished. I just got to get the building out the way. I'm not a builder, y'all. I'm gonna keep it a sack with y'all. I'm not a builder. I can build. I'm very good at building. I'm just not a builder. I'm more of a scripter. So King's Game is a RPG MMO multiplayer. Basically meaning you have all these games in here that are just like one room based, like Five Nights at Freddy's, or there's no real gameplay to them. So King's Game is RPG, one meaning role playing game. It's up to 4 players. You have the hero, you have the rook, the wizard, and the assassin. You do when you start off, you choose your players and who they play and what role they play, and certain characters get aspects. So you have a skill based system, meaning
Yeah.
you do level up, you do get different skills, you can get different attributes. So if you're the hero, all your attributes get a buff of 5. If you're the wizard, your magic gets a buff of 5. If you're the rook, your defense gets a buff of 5. If you're assassin, your stealth gets a buff of 5. And those play an important role throughout the game. Um,
Oh wow.
so when you start, there's narration, there's NPCs that could walk around. You have missions, side missions. You have dungeons, bosses. There's a final boss. I've been working on him last night really hard. Um, it's going to be a whole adventure. Like there's at least 5 to 6 hours of gameplay within this world. And then I know people
What?
would ask, huh?
I said what? That's good.
Yeah. So people always ask me the question, how do you put that much into a world? How do you fit all that? How do you cram pack all that into a world? Because you only have a certain you have a capacity. You can't go over a certain number. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So within each world, you have the main hub world. The main hub world is massive. Is not very detailed because again, you can't really put a lot into one world. So it's like a big open area with mountains and hills and stuff and caves, and you can do little side missions. So the moment you walk into a dungeon, it requires you and your 4 other buddies or your 3 other buddies. You can't go into the dungeon without them. So the moment they step on the trigger, they get transported into a lobby, which has a loading screen. While they're in there, everything that's in the main hub world despawns, gets deleted, and then the dungeon loads in. So that way it doesn't glitch. So it despawns everything else and it loads in the dungeon, and then y'all get transferred over to the dungeon. Once y'all defeat the dungeon, you go back to the lobby area. It despawns the dungeon and it brings back in the main HUD world. So that's how
Oh
I got
wow.
all that stuff in there.
Hey, that sounds lit, bro. So you can actually level up, fight people.
You can fight NPCs. You can fight each other if you wanted to. Um, but yeah, you have a whole leveling system. You max out at level 100. You get different attributes, different skills. Like the rook or the hero, he carries a sword. Right now, the thing I have for the sword, I built the master sword from Legend of Zelda. So I have that as a placement holder until I build the hero sword. And one of the skills of the hero is when he takes the sword and he holds it up high, the color will start to change into like a light blue, like it's glowing. And then when he slashes it down, it shoots out a radiant light.
Oh, that's lit.
Yeah, so it's different skills. Like the assassin, he has a crossbow that he can shoot, but when he uses his ability, it transforms and gives him a rapid fire, so he can just rapidly fire the crossbow. The rook has an ability to where when he holds his hands like this, it shrinks his little shield, and when he puts his hands out, it grows a big shield. And then the wizard has the ability called protect. So when he activates his ability, it buffs up everybody's defense plus 20.
Ooh, that shit sound lit, bro. When is that coming out?
Right now, I have maybe a couple more months because right now I'm looking for builders to build the areas. Because I got the main hub worlds and stuff. I just need people to build the dungeons and build the characters and stuff. But after that's done and I put everything together, I got maybe like 5 more scripts to do, heavy scripts. And once I figure those out, then it'll be done and I'll drop it. I'm gonna say sometime next year it should be done.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna definitely check it out when it gets done, bro.
Oh, y'all gonna
Black
love it.
Magic working there, man. Wait, no. ABC scripting. How much have you been making money off your scripts?
Yeah, actually, I'm not gonna get into how much I make, but I do make enough a month. Um, it's been at first when the stuff was going around, the controversy was going around. I wasn't really making that much a month. It was still enough to like pay for my phone bill and food and stuff a month. But
Damn, you
since
making
then,
money.
oh yeah, I was making money.
So you making over 100?
I was making over 500.
Even now, you still make over 100?
Yeah, but a lot of that goes towards like just every time I get it, I spend it on getting groceries and my phone bill. So a lot of that really just goes out the window towards like the rent and stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
I don't really keep it. Like there was this controversy. I got paid. I'll say this. Back in 2021, I got paid $1,500 for one job. Um, and people thought I took that and went to go buy the pro, which doesn't make sense because why would I make that back in 2021? But I just got the pro a couple months ago. You think I held on to $1,500 that fucking long? Like, but a lot of it, when I was homeless, a lot of it went towards just trying to keep myself clean, trying to feed myself, trying to keep myself sheltered. And it still does. Like I pay towards my rent, I pay it towards my phone bill, I pay it towards and stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
The money I don't buy it on dumb stuff. A lot of the times, I do buy it to help better myself.
Hell yeah, that's what's up, bro. Like scripted on here making over 100 is good for real, because it's like it's this game popular, but it ain't too many people that be on here for real. It's only so many people you can run into,
The
but
thing
it do
is,
get lit though.
I don't want I don't want to do this by myself forever. Like I really do want to build a team. Like
Oh
my
yeah, that me
friend,
too. Yeah, the team will be
me and
lit.
Kiara, y'all know, call her Kiara. Me and her work together. She's the builder, I'm the scripter. Me and Corey Bad, we're a team. She's the builder, I'm the scripter. Like I really just want to build my own team that I could put under ABC scripting, and when they do jobs, they'll be commission based. So you won't be getting paid from me. You'll be getting paid from the commissions that you do. And I have clientele. I have a bunch of people that come to me for scripts. So if they ever need builds, like my mom, Thickums, I always, when people ask me, hey, do you build? I'll be like, no, you can hit up Thickums EST. She's an amazing builder. You know, I send them to her. I'll send them to Kiara. I send them to people. But I really just want my own team that I could call a family.
Yeah, hell yeah. Have your own team is everything, man. Everybody with the same mindset, same goal and
Yeah,
shit. Niggas don't be seeing the vision, man. But when you search, keep on searching, bro. When you find people that see the vision, you gonna go up. No cap.
yeah,
That's how it was in real life for me too, man. You just gotta find people and shit.
yeah. I
The
feel you.
scripted, Black Magic. Do you get paid to doing scripting in there?
Uh, no, not
Sheesh,
really,
bro. Damn.
not really. But it wasn't about the money. It's never been money. Scripting for myself is about the money. When I'm doing it for other people, yes. But Black Magic has always been a home to me because I was on here when Black Magic first came out. It was nothing but an elevator and a stage. And I always
Oh,
wanted
they
to
need to
make
bring
Black
back that
Magic great.
elevator too. The elevator
Oh
was
God,
everything, bro.
we were talking about it. We're thinking about it, but I don't script for Black Magic for the money. I don't do it for the fame. I don't do it to have an editor title. I do it because I always loved Black Magic. I always wanted to make it great. So whether the money comes in or not, I don't care about that. I care about making Black Magic great for not only myself but for the people.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Hell yeah. So inside the metaverse, outside the metaverse, you be making music, man. I was looking at your Instagram, bro. You had me over here hitting the nays and shit, man.
Yeah, so I've always been musically inclined. I've always sung and rapped and stuff like that. It wasn't until 2012 where I actually had the ability to go to a studio. And once I seen what that was like, I fell in love with being able to engineer and produce. Um, it wasn't until recently, I want to say about 4 months ago, 4 or 5 months ago, I signed up for a
Mama,
mama.
yeah, my boy.
Yeah.
What was on your mind when you made that song right there, bro? That shit.
So back
And we
in
talking about
20
what's that song? What's that song called right there? My bad.
that's called Mama.
Mama, yeah, hell yeah. Yeah.
So back in 2022, my mom passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
It was
Damn.
it was me and her living in my house at the time, and when she passed, I was going through a lot. I mean, just depression, and the way I was able to cope with that was making music. So me and my mom never had the best relationship, but I still loved her. That was my mom. She brought me into this world. She gave me life. You know, she didn't have to do that. I'm pretty sure it wasn't planned, but you know,
Yeah, I'll be
um,
like that. You be like that.
she still brought me to this life, and she still loved me.
Yeah.
Even though she wasn't, I wouldn't say the best mother, but she tried her best. Um, and I just every day I was just like, I never really got to show her I was her child. I was in foster care my whole life. I never really got to show her, hey, I'm your son. Let me be your son. So when she passed, I was going through a whole lot of grievance. Like, I can't say I love you. I can't wake up and hear your voice anymore. It hurts. So I made the song about mama because if she's up there listening, it was really about her. Like, hey, mom, I hear you. You know, I know that you tried your best. And honestly, if it wasn't for you, I technically wouldn't be who I am today. So the message was really for her, like, hey, I'm here. You don't got to worry. Rest in peace. Basically, it was a message to her.
Hell yeah, I fuck with that shit right there, man. We'll clap it up. Yeah. Hey man, you gotta keep going, man. Keep striving for success, bro. Man, that's just crazy, bro. I'm glad. I hope mom. I don't know what I'm gonna do if my mom ever go. You feel what I'm saying? That shit's crazy. I don't know. That shit's crazy, bro. What's it
It
called?
hurts, but you got to keep pushing for it, bro. I can't. I don't have the authority or the gall to quit. Unfortunately, she had to. It was her time, but for her, I can't quit. I don't have the luxury to.
Hell yeah, gotta keep grinding. Do it from Mom Dukes, man. For music, have you ever always had the love for music?
I've always loved music, but I grew up on Christian music. It wasn't until 2012 when I came out the. I didn't come out the foster care system. I was still in it, but I came back to Virginia. Because that's where I'm born, Hampton, Virginia. So when I came back, I moved into a foster home and I started listening to the likes of Trey Songz. Trey Songz was the first person I ever listened to outside of gospel music. Then I started listening to Neo. Then I started listening to Usher. Then I grew to start listening to rap, like Lil Wayne and Eminem. And I've always been a singer, so just listening to these things, I was like, you know what? I have a voice. I can do this. It's not outside of my power. I'm able to do it. It wasn't until 2012 or I think 2015, when I actually got into a studio, like I said before, and I fell in love with it. And it wasn't until recently where I just went to school. I'm at Full Sail University for audio engineering. So I've always tried to mix like you. I mean, you heard Mama. It wasn't good quality. The song and the lyrics were there. It was really good, but it wasn't good quality. It could be mixed better. So that's why I'm in school
Yeah,
now
you gotta
to learn
get
how to
your ass.
mix.
You gotta get your ass to the studio, nigga.
And now I'm going to be the studio. That's why I'm in school for it.
Hell yeah, you can do it, man. You can do it. But I don't have patience for that shit. I take my ass to the studio. I wish I had patience to you say you going to Full Sail?
Full Sail University. Yep.
Oh yeah, I saw ads for that. That's legit. That school legit. I know
Full
some people
Sail
that been to
University.
school over there. They said that shit, they teach you the basics and shit.
So Full Sail, um, they had this thing called a Project Launchbox. So when you sign up after your first 4 months of being in school, they'll send you everything you need to progress. So recently, 3 months ago, they just sent me the latest MacBook, like 2024 MacBook Pro. They sent me a 2 terabyte hard drive. They sent me a keyboard, an audio interface. They sent me some tripod stands. They sent me speakers. Like I had the whole studio set up. So if I wanted to, I could just start making studios now. They paid for my program. I have the what you call it, Logic X Pro, and I have
Oh shit.
the other one, like the one that's like $1,000. I have both of those programs, and they send me all sorts of audio impacts, all sorts of sound effects
I
and
probably get
stuff.
you Pro Tools.
Yeah, they gave me Pro Tools and Logic X Pro.
Oh yeah, that shit's good right there.
Yeah, so they send you everything you need to progress.
Hey, if you ever start making like big money and shit, bro, if you get you an Apollo interface and a Newman microphone, you're looking for a short silver microphone. It's called a Newman. Get you one of
Mhm.
them and some KRK speakers, bro, and you're gonna have good ass quality. And
So
you
what they
also want some
sent
preamps
me,
too. You want a lot of preamps too.
was PreSonus Iris Studio 4s. They're like the best speakers you can get so far outside of Harman Kardon. They also sent me Audio Technica mic. That's like the best mic you can get. outside of road. So I have like the top quality stuff. I'm not looking to invest in anything right now because I'm just starting. But if I get out there and I start making money like that, then yeah, I'll look into that.
Hell yeah. Who your favorite artist right now?
Me,
Yep. Oh,
me.
you your favorite artist.
I'm my favorite artist. Outside of that, I really like Trey Songz music. I don't like Trey Songz. He is weird as a person, but I do like his
Damn.
music.
What did he
I
do to
think
you?
the one that I listen to the most right now is Eric Benet. I love Eric Benet. I love his music. I like the soft, sultry, intimate type music. I'm not really a. I like hip hop. Cool. If you look at my catalog, you'll see with you, Eric Benet, Chocolate Legs, Luther Vandross, Charlie Wilson. You are like I like that type of music.
Oh look, I gotta look up Eric. But what'd you say, Eric Benet?
Eric Benet.
Eric Benet. Hell yeah, I
He,
gotta look. It sounds like some
yeah,
old nigga music. You like that old nigga
bro. I'm
music?
telling you, you gotta listen to Chocolate Legs. You gotta
yeah,
listen to Wanna Be Loved. Change your whole life.
I gotta check that shit out, man. Who was you bumping growing up, man?
A lot of Christian music. I couldn't tell
Christian
you the
music.
names. Um,
That's good,
but
right? That's good.
outside of that, it was Trey Songz.
That boy Trey Songz, his early music was really good, man. I remember growing up listening to Trey Songz. He said,
Yeah,
I'm
his
about
new
to
music, it's
dive
good.
in.
Yeah, my favorite album is actually Trey Day. That's my favorite album from him already. Ready's a really good one too.
Yeah, he had a good hits. He had bottoms up back in the day. He had some good stuff,
Mm-hmm.
man. Who you look up to growing up?
Um, my brother,
Oh, true, true. Shout out, brother. Shout out.
he he was an asshole. My bad. My other brother's down here. He wasn't that good of a brother, but he protected us and he tried to make sure that we were happy. And even when he was a beehole, he tried to look out for us. So I do look up for him in that aspect of things. Outside of that, it was really my sister. My sister, outside of my mom, is like my rock. Um, but stuff's going on. We don't really talk. I don't really talk to family that much anymore. So
Damn, yeah, it'd be like that. Hell yeah, it'd be like that, man. Why y'all not talking right now?
personal reasons I don't want to get into.
Oh yeah, you feeling sad and stuff?
No, not really. Just exhaustion.
Oh yeah, it'd be like that, man. I get exhausting sometimes, bro. Uh, jumping distance, man. I was looking at it yesterday. I was like, what the? How is that cool? How the hell do you script to where you can measure somebody's jumping distance? I don't think
Yeah.
that's ever been done before in the metaverse.
So the jumping distance, that was a script that was commissioned to me by Mia Remy and the Ghetto Creators. They have a whole world where they work out with the kids, like they're playing football and stuff. And she
Oh
came to
wow.
me and she was like, "Hey, can you measure how far somebody jumps?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess." So basically, the script is simple. It's when player enters trigger, measure the distance between the trigger and the player position of player, and then it floors that number. Flooring a number just takes it out of a decimal and gives you a whole number. So like if it gives you 25.693, it takes 25, looks at the six, and says, okay, that's above five. So instead of it being 25, it's 26. So it just rounds it up to the whole number. Um, so when you land it, that cuts off a balloon. And remember, I told you. So when you jump in the trigger, it cuts it on. It starts reading. When you jump into the other trigger, it cuts it off, and then gives you that number of how far you jumped.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's hard right there. Damn, bro. How long did it take you to make that?
5 minutes.
Oh wow, it was simple, simple editing.
Yeah, it's simple as hell.
Movie acting, man. I saw you in a play on here called Mama Why You Crying. You like acting?
Yes, I've always been a theatrical person. So anything outside of like using my creativities or my skill sets as a person, I've always been into. So acting, singing, music, arts and crafts, grown arts and crafts, what I call it, like carpentry, pottery, and stuff like that. I've always been into. I've always wanted to be an actor outside of the music industry. Um, I think I'm really good at it, but that's really up to the people.
Hell yeah, you just got your car stolen on a sunny day, brand new Mustang. Go.
Car stolen on Sunday and brand new Mustang. I bet. Damn, man. I just got this car. I still gotta pay the car note on it. They probably gonna hit me with some fun fee. God damn, man. Where my phone at? Hello? Hey. So, listen. How do you get your car back? If it's stolen? Do y'all have like some type of insurance? I'm not quite sure. I didn't read the paper when I signed. So is there anything y'all could possibly do? Ask it for a friend. Uh-huh. Okay. No. Okay, for sure. Okay. No, it was a Mustang. It was a Mustang. It was a yellow one. Okay. Not for sure. All right. Appreciate you. Have a great day. I guess I gotta go shoot these niggas now.
Yeah, that good right there, bro. Hell yeah, you can act pretty good, bro. I gotta see you to play. Y'all doing any more plays?
We're trying to get some plays together, but we don't know. It's in
How
the
did you
works.
did you come up with the writing for Mama Why You Crying and stuff?
No, actually, the screenplay was written by Thickums EST. That was her first. That was the first ever play in the metaverse.
Oh, okay,
Um,
okay.
so she's working on other things diligently. So you just gotta be on the lookout. But nope, that was written by her.
Hell yeah, tell her. I gotta hear her up, man. I'm trying to get her on the podcast, bro. Learn
For
more
sure.
about these
I'll talk.
plays and stuff. That's cool. That stuff cool right there, bro. What role did you play? I didn't even get a chance to watch it.
I was Lil Rico. I was the hard headed thug.
I
Yeah.
couldn't put you as no thug, bro. I had to put you as like a teacher or something. They should have put your
I
ass as a
know.
teacher or
I
something.
was the thug. I'm really nice. I'm not really into like all that ghetto stuff, but I've been in the hood. I've lived that life before. So I know how to get into that role. And I'm just a nice person.
Hell yeah, that shit's fire, bro. Was you nervous on? Was this live on the metaverse?
Yeah,
I
she
do
did.
this
She
live.
went live on Facebook.
Oh, that's hard. Oh, is there a video of it?
Yeah. So if you want to watch the whole play, it is on YouTube. And just look up "Mama, Why You Crying?" It should pop up.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I want to look at that shit. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
gonna definitely watch that later.
if you want to, I'll DM you the link to it.
Yeah. DM the link and shit. Hell yeah, that
All
shit
right,
hard, bro.
for sure.
Damn, was it like a? It reminded me of some Tyler Perry type shit.
Yeah, I think that's the thing she was trying to go for.
As soon as you said thug, nigga, I was like, oh yeah, that's that Tyler Perry. They got the thug, they got the old
Yeah.
ladies and shit. It's a life lesson. But shit, are you ever thought about acting in real life?
Actually, yeah, I've looked into a couple of things. Depending on how my life goes within the next few months, I might actually move to like New York or something and like try to go into acting and music. So
Oh yeah, that's gonna go hard, bro. You already do full sale. You got done once you got
exactly.
done get mixing, mastering down, hit pack. You could just go around, travel, and make music and shit.
Oh yeah, 'cause as soon as they be like, "Oh, we need a score for this movie," I got you. Can I be in the movie too?
Editing and mixing and mastering will take you a long way. I know this studio, and then you got my boy got what's that shit called? Uh, people that comes that work for free. I forgot what they're called, but they pull up for experience, and he just teaches them all
Freelancers.
type of shit. Yeah, no,
Oh,
not freelance.
shadowers, like
Nah, nah,
apprentices,
nah. It's another word. I forgot what it's called though.
mentorship.
Nah,
I don't know.
it's some other shit. But it's what's it call it? They be working and stuff, and they be going to meeting all type of artists. They travel through Atlanta and shit, all type of shit like that. So mixing and mastering, engineering, that's a good job. You can actually get money from that too once you learn
Yeah.
that shit. Who you plan on working with?
Uh, right now I want to go to the Grammys, so anybody who can get me there, I don't care who it is.
Hell yeah. You buy your beats or you get them off YouTube?
I buy 'em when I can. Right now, I'm not in a financial situation to buy them, but I try to make them sometimes.
And then Cinematic Films, is that your thing or is that like something else?
Cinema Films is actually owned by Barcode.
Oh, okay.
Um, she's a really good. She does skits and stuff. They actually have a few skits out that y'all can go to the YouTube. Just type in Cinematic Films and you'll see it.
Hell yeah, man. You got any worlds you want to shout out? Anything coming up soon? I know you told me about one world
Uh,
you got coming up. You got about the Vikings
King's
and shit.
Game is coming. Paint the World is coming. I'm not gonna talk about that yet because I'm not quite done. But when I get there, I'll let y'all know about that one. There's only really two worlds I want to shout out. That's Pier 11 by Mike Lowry. That's a really good world, and
Oh
Black Magic.
yeah, shout out Mike. Yeah.
Those are the only two worlds. And Black Magic. That's the only two I want to shout out.
Man, if you can, man, tell JC, man, I'm trying to get him on the pod, bro. No cap. Tell that nigga I'll pay him $200, bro.
I'll see. I'll talk to him.
No
I
cap. I
got
know
you.
he saw. I know he probably saw it before. I know he probably saw this shit.
Yeah, I'll talk to him. I'll see what he says.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks for pulling up to the pod. We got designer Panda in here. You know what I'm
So
saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, brother. I appreciate you.
And I'll see y'all next week. Get some drink.
For sure.